Hey Atlanta Fringers, I'm Eli. We're back at Do You Validate Studio, and today we're talking with Valerie, Ella, and Cami about their show, The Masque of the Red Death. Tell us a little bit about what the audience can expect when they come into your show.
Everything. I was thinking about it the other day and thinking about how we have live singing and we have burlesque and we have drag and magic, and it kind of almost feels like the show is like a microcosm of what the Fringe Festival is.
Yeah.
Because we really allow the performers like Ella and myself to develop our own acts and kind of fit it within the narrative of the show.
How has this show developed since you first kind of came up with the concept?
Our show debut was last year, actually, at Club One in Savannah, Georgia, where we're from. And I always knew that I wanted to have this blend of like a theatrical narrative piece, but utilize all of these great individual performers that are so used to doing more cabaret type shows.
Yeah.
Since that first show and to Fringe, it's almost a completely different show because Ella actually was not in our first show last year, and we've also added Atlanta's own drag person, Coochie Coochie Coo, as well.
Awesome.
And then some of us just have a brand new acts because why not?
Definitely.
It's cool. It's cool to have kind of that vibe where acts that were in originally can change what they're doing, or you can just bring in a totally new act and shift the vibe a little bit.
And like Val was saying earlier, it really is incredibly cool that we're able to just bring our own microcosm of what we consider art and still find a place on the stage with this performance. Mm-hmm. It's been an absolute pleasure just being able to explore the stage and being able to find that development between the theater and, for me, burlesque, but everything else that goes on the stage. It's so cool.
Mm-hmm. The title is very intriguing, especially, it gives a whole vibe before you even walk in.
The whole show is based on the short story from Edgar Allan Poe. It's called The Masque of the Red Death.
Yeah.
Literally, when I was thinking through what I wanted to put on the stage and thinking about specifically Edgar Allan Poe shows or stories, I guess, that one in particular was just always one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. And it kind of goes into describing all of these different rooms and spaces, and that's when I thought, that would be a really great way to connect with different performers and kind of different spaces and vibes.
Yeah.
So.
And lighting kind of adds, each room is a different color.
Oh, wow.
So our lighting gal is not with us on the tour, but she created every room with the different colors, and the vibe is very
immaculate.
Cool. Yes.
Wow. That's awesome. So we get this sort of Poe sort of mood kind of throughout.
It's
and
definitely
eeriness
pretty macabre.
Yeah. As performers, what's it been like developing this show?
At least within the troupe that I typically perform with in Savannah, it's all very themed performances, and I prefer, for myself, to go into the more witchy, macabre, that sort of division of the burlesque world. But that's not always an opportunity sometimes. We're more likely to do more BDSM, or we have a cartoons themed show coming up, that sort of thing. So being able to be invited to perform here and just completely let my creative juices flow, and the act that I started with, that was my initial prompt to being invited, is one that I've loved. It was my second number that I've ever performed in burlesque, but I really took it to a whole nother level and was able to just master, I think, at least, really master the choreography for that one. And then the other was it was sort of a fever dream that I've been thinking about for literally years, but I haven't been able to find a place within the themed shows where it would have fit in. And here comes Val, and it's I can finally put this together. I can finally make this something that the audience is going to expect and, hopefully adore. And it's just so cool being able to see the art come to life in that sort of way and just let my brain completely take over without having to think too hard on it,
Yeah. So this is your first Fringe Festival.
Yes.
Have you been able to take the show outside of Savannah at all?
This is the first
Totally.
time it's gone outside of Savannah.
Yeah.
So yeah, like so we had our performance, our first performance last year, and then we kind of did our own little preview / rehearsal, like open rehearsal, a couple of weeks before we brought it over here, just to kind of start to piece together things. But yeah, this is the first time that I've ever like taken a show outside of Savannah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's Atlanta treating you so far?
We love it.
Yeah.
We're actually staying pretty near the area, near the little 5 Points area,
Yeah.
and it's so pretty just to go like walking around, wake up in the nice weather. We discovered chipmunks. Like,
We don't
Yeah.
have chipmunks.
You don't have
since-
chipmunks?
No,
Not
we
in
don't have
Savannah.
chipmunks.
I
Wow.
was literally, I saw a chipmunk and I was like, okay, we're in a Disney movie now.
Oh.
Awesome.
You can have some of ours. We've got too
Oh,
many. They're like,
I might pocket one. So.
But no, it's been really great, and the whole vibe of Fringe has been really cool, and it's just always something that I've seen Fringe festivals or I've heard of Fringe festivals around the country. I've never actually gotten to go to one, so
Yeah.
this is my first time having any sort of Fringe experience at
Yeah.
all, and I think that's for y'all's as well, right?
Yeah,
and the
absolutely.
community is super welcoming.
Yeah.
Like we feel like we
Fantastic.
have been here before
Oh.
because everybody that's the producer and everybody who's involved has been so welcoming and so cool.
Everyone's
which is
just
great.
a big theater nerd trying to have fun
Yes,
with a
and
whole
we
bunch
love
of
that.
other big theater nerds.
Yep. Well, Val, Ella, and Cami, thank you so much for joining us. Y'all make sure to check out the Assembly of Phantasms, The Masque of the Red Death. Y'all want to let them know where and when they can see you this weekend?
Yeah, so we are going to be at 7 Stages Backstage. We actually open on Friday, so it's this Friday, 7 p.m. Then Saturday, we have 2 shows. We have the 1 o'clock and a 7 p.m. And then on Sunday, we have 2:30.
All right. Thanks again for being here.
Thank you.
you.
Thanks for tuning in, and happy Fringe.